guys, it's Majestic Carter here, and I wanted to post a new video here today. Get that out of the way. Um, my last video was, a duo video with my friend Taylor, but this one I decided to do a little solo video. I decided to do one about Pokemon, and it's about breeding in X and Y, since that's the most recent game, and people still have questions about that, apparently. Um, I don't know how to do, slides and pictures and all that fancy jazz, so I decided to just make the background a few random battles in Showdown. If you want to play Showdown, I'll put a link to the website in the video description. But that's all up to you. I usually just go to random chat rooms. If you ever want to battle me, I guess just send me a message on YouTube or something like that, or Twitter, or one of those things. So basically, I wanted to start out on by saying a few items you're gonna need. You're gonna need the Destiny Knot, which you can get in Sillage City from one of the maids in a hotel. I can't remember what the name of the hotel is, but you can find it pretty easily. I think there's only one hotel in the city, actually. I think. But anyways, in X and Y, that item now transfers 5 of the IVs from the parent to the child. So that makes it a lot better than what I think it used to be, 2 or 3. One of those. The other item you're going to need is the Everstone, and that's for giving to the Pokemon you want to have the nature, because that passes down, I think, indefinitely the nature of one of the Pokemon parents. So if you use these items in conjunction, the Destiny Knot is used to obviously get the IVs from one Pokemon to another, and then you want the nature of a Pokemon, which you give them the Everstone. So let's say you want to breed, say you want to breed an Adamant Talonflame. So you would give the Everstone to maybe like a Fletchling that has an Adamant nature and maybe like a speed and HP stat perfect, and then you would usually use a Ditto, but people sometimes just choose to use a Pokemon of the same race, like a Fletchling and a Fletchling, or maybe like a Piplup and a Piplup, same type Pokemon, because that's just more natural, but people use Ditto just to speed the process up and such. God, your moves suck, Chandelure. I'm sorry. Fuck. But anyway, God, these moves suck. So when you're doing that, when they're in the process of breeding, if you have a Ditto who probably has, it'd be safe to have one that has at least one similar IV to the other one, because I don't know if that actually helps it or not, but it's just like a safety thing that I like to do. So have a Ditto that has at least like maybe Adamant, speed stat, defense, and then have a Fletchling that has HP and attack, and you give the Destiny Knot to the Ditto, and then the Everstone to the Fletchling, and it will make babies that have usually at least 4 IVs, I've found, in that kind of situation. So once you do that process, oh fuck, Jesus, Dragonite, I'm sorry. Once you repeat that process, you can always go to the Pokemon Raider, the IV tester, whatever you want to call him. He's in, oh crap, what's that town's name? I can't remember the town's name right now, but it's like it starts with a K. It's the one you unlock after you beat the game, post game, and pretty much that's all you gotta do. Honestly, it's people make it a lot more complicated than it really is. When all you have to do is just use those items, honestly, in conjunction, and a Ditto really makes it a lot easier. And for those of you who want shiny breeding, that's done an entirely different concept. There are a few other methods you could use. You could use the Masuda method, which is using 2 Pokemon of different nationalities to help you produce one. So you could use, an English one and a Japanese Pokemon, which people usually use a Japanese Pokemon for, I don't know if there's a specific reason or what, but yeah, they do that. Like, for instance, me, I have a shiny, I have a few, actually, shiny 6IV Japanese Dittos through bunch of work. And if I combine those guys with a Pokemon from our region, it will usually produce a shiny after a good few eggs. It kind of just depends on if you're lucky or not. But then again, if you get the shiny charm, which you get after you're completing the I think the national Pokedex in X and Y, you can get it from Professor Sycamore, and that makes getting them much easier. Honestly, it makes it like I think it raises 25%, something like that, or half. I don't know. I don't know the exact percent range, but once you get that, getting shinies isn't too difficult. That's the main method I use. I can't remember what's another. Another method for getting some shinies, not by breeding, but by catching. Catching a fish Pokemon would be to chain fish. Just kind of sit there and fish, and hopefully you get the same Pokemon after a while. Another way to get Pokemon like that is going to a friend safari, and you usually get pretty good chances of getting shiny Pokemon there. But anyways, back to the breeding. Um, I think that's pretty much all there is to it. Honestly, and what I usually do to make breeding go pretty fast, it's a little trick that I do, is I get another Talonflame I have with, Flame Body, that's what it is. And Flame Body raises the um, amount of steps it decreases the amount of steps you need to hatch the egg. Sorry. And then if you combine that with hatch power, at least level 2 or 3, it will make breeding go so much faster. And all you have to do is get on your bike, fly to Lumio City, and what I do is I stick like a little coin in my trackpad, a little swivel button, and I go around the Pokemon gym. I just let that go, and whenever I look back, and if I see that a Pokemon's hatching, I just spam the A button, go through it, and then keep going. And once I do that, I'll have a full batch of eggs ready to go check, see their IVs, check if anyone's good or not. And some people, to make sure they don't forget the IVs, what they'll do is they'll either name the Pokemon the IVs they have, so they can just look at it on a first glance, or they'll use the marks, and that's what the marks are for. People oftentimes forget that. And I actually didn't know that when I was little, and all I would do was just put marks everywhere because I thought they were cool. And that's the use of them, I think, if I remember correctly. And once you do that, that makes the process go by much faster, in my personal opinion. That's what me and my friends do, and it's really easy. And let's see. I was also going to say something else. That's pretty much, by the way, that's all there is to breeding, honestly, IV breeding. I was going to say something else about IV training, I think is what I was going to do. If you want to, actually, EV training, sorry, I'm very dumb. Um, Obviously, if you're IV breeding, you're breeding to be competitive, and if you're going to play in competitive, you can't go in there with just good IV Pokemon. You have to have decent EV trained Pokemon, or else they're going to lack. And the way you want to train them is you can do multiple methods. You could use the super training method, which is what sometimes I use, but people often find that to be very slow compared to getting someone in your party knowing Sweet Scent and going to certain areas in the game that certain Pokemon can be found and battling horde battles. And as you know, each certain different Pokemon give different EV stats when you beat them. So all I have to do is get your XP share on and get a Pokemon that can hit all 5 Pokemon at once. And then you're going to want to just spam that for a while until you estimate if you've gotten enough EVs. And I don't know the exact way to do that, but if I remember, there's actually math to this, like a very minuscule amount of math though. But let's see. Once you do that, like for instance, there's Durant. If you fight hordes of Durant, I think they give you 5 points of EV in defense, and that's probably one of the highest ones I think you can find. I think the next best thing is to get a Geodudes, but obviously you want the higher the better, because that makes it go faster. And what I do is if I do the horde battles, I would usually just get a Kangaskhan, honestly, and then Mega Evolve it and Earthquake everywhere. Because once you just do that, you just plow through everything, and the XP share gives you the points to the Pokemon you're training, and there you go. It transfers all the EVs you want, and it gets you leveled up in the process. While The super training thing, it is very fast in my personal opinion. People would always, they diss on it now. They think it's not as fast, but I think what makes it not as fast is having to EV train the Pokemon and then going to train it to be up to level. Because what I would do is I would train it, super train it, and then I would go to the Pokemon League and just sit there and wreck their face for hours until I got the Pokemon to at least level 50, or until they got to a level that it needed to be to know a certain move I wanted. Like, for instance, Azumarill, I think it learns Play Rough at level 60, so I needed to get it to level 60 so I could have one of its crucial moves in the moveset so it wouldn't suck. And I love Azumarill, by the way. Um, and that's pretty much it. In IV training and IV breeding, EV training, and even a little shiny development. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can ask me on Twitter. And be sure. So if you like the video, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with some other type of video.